Hi there, and thank you so much for checking out this bujo video. I am getting ready for September and I've got myself a brand new journal. I used up all the pages in my previous journal last month. So recently I was watching some of Savannah Scribble's videos and she always uses black paper journals and it made me really want to get one again. I did do part of 2022 with a black journal and I had a lot of fun with it, so I thought I would do it again. I do find it a little bit daunting to try and think of themes that will work on the black paper, but I really enjoyed the challenge as well. Normally I get a B5 size notebook, but I couldn't find one that I liked with black pages this time that was the same size, so I went for an A5 one, which doesn't look that much smaller when you compare them, but the reason I went for B5 to begin with was because I felt like some of my setups took up so much room on the page. I didn't have a whole lot of space left for decoration around the edges, so I will just have to see how I get on with going back to the smaller size this time. This one is the Suki Moonflower journal from Notebook Therapy. I love the design, but I'm not a huge fan of faux leather personally, and I usually prefer their fabric ones. I think I just like the look and the finish better, and it's more hard wearing. The faux leather ones just seem to scuff and dent really easily, and I'm quite clumsy, so I expect it will probably look really worn quite quickly with me. But yeah, I really wanted the black pages and there weren't any available with fabric covers, so I had to go with this one, but I do really love the little moon design on the front. So with September comes the beginning of autumn. I am so not ready to say goodbye to summer yet, but I think it's partly because we haven't had very much good weather in my area this year. I haven't worn so many of my summer clothes just because it's not been warm enough. But anyway, my theme this month is going to be an autumnal one, and I've started off the front cover by cutting out a window, and the page behind I've just used a white jelly roll pen to do the title and added some fern stickers around it and trimmed them down so that they match the border of the window cutout. Then I grabbed a piece of acetate and trimmed it to the window size, and this is going to help make this cool layered effect with PET mushroom stickers. I got this big set of pet stickers from Amazon and there was a whole pack of mushrooms in it, and it's not that I don't like mushrooms, it's just that I've not really found a use for that set yet, so I thought I could use them in an autumnal woodlandy themed setup. I thought they would look nice layered up, which then gave me the idea of sticking some on the clear acetate to give it a bit more dimension. It reminds me of this book I used to love when I was about 6 or 7, and it was about ladybirds, or ladybugs if you're from North America, but some of its pages were see-through and had different types of ladybirds and the larvae and all the different stages, and then they layered up. I think that's a core memory right there. I really love that book, it was so cool. So I put some of the mushrooms on the acetate and then stuck it to the back of the window page and then layered up a bunch more on top of that. Ugh, the struggle is so real trying to peel the backing off the PET stickers. Sometimes you get it really quickly and then other times you're struggling for ages just to find the edge. There's probably a technique to it that I'm just not getting. I also stuck a little butterfly in the sky to make it a bit more magical feeling, and once I had everything stuck down and I knew where it all was, I went back to the title page and added in a little moon and some stars in all the gaps. Below the title and the ferns I wanted to add a quote, and it's taken from a poem by Donna Ashworth. My yoga instructor read it out at the end of the class recently and I really loved it. There sometimes seems like there's so much violence and anger around in the world when you watch the news, and the final line of the poem gave me a sense of hope, I suppose. I'll read the full thing out to you. When the world outside is in disarray and chaos abounds, it is vital that you live the life you dream of in your own little bubble. Make the world you want. Kindness, love, patience, acceptance and care. Throw it around like confetti and create the world you will not see in the news. You cannot fix the world or change everyone's mind, but you can be the peace you seek. And it's beyond vital that you do. It spreads like ever-increasing ripples outwards and will find those like-hearted souls you need to reach. When the world is in unrest, be the peace you seek. Yeah, for me that's just really powerful, and although we can't affect world events or even things happening closer to home, we can create our own peace and try to uphold that in our thoughts and actions. Just to finish off this page, I added a border around the ferns so that they weren't randomly floating in the middle. I really love this super thin washi tape. It's from the Fragrant Memories set from the washi tape shop, and you can use my code CADENCY10 to get 10% off at the washi tape shop, and I'll put the details in the description. On the front of the page, I added some more stars and sparkles. I think I went a little bit overboard with it, and I actually ended up going over some of them with black pen to thin it out again. But that is the good thing with this paper, you can just use black ink to go back over any mistakes made with white pen, and it blends right in. Okay, so moving on to my calendar page, and I'm writing on the right side for the first time, which is a bit awkward when you've got a brand new journal because the front pages are really thin. So a tip to help even it out is to put a couple of washi tape rolls underneath it just to bring it level, and I find that really helps. So I did individual boxes this time. The squares are all 4x4. Normally I would probably do it a bit bigger, but because my journal is smaller, I have scaled it down, but I think it's still fine. It will still fit everything I need it to. And again, I did make some mistakes when I was drawing my numbers, so I just went over that with a black fudenosuke pen, and then let that dry, and you can just write straight over the top again with the white gel pen. And then for the decorative elements this time, I didn't just stick to mushrooms. I had a few scrapbook pieces. I had some stickers that looked a bit more woodlandy, so I wanted to include some of them as well, and some more washi tape. I've used some washi tape with kind of scribbled writing on, and also some more stuff from the Fragrant Memories washi tape set. Across this setup, I'm using the Sakura Jelly Roll gel pens. I absolutely love these. The ink flow is so good, they're really good quality, so I would definitely recommend getting some if you want some good white gel pens. I managed to find a set that actually had 3 different sizes in. So for the boxes, I've used the 08 size nib, and then to write inside all my boxes, I've used a 05 nib, which is really quite small and gives you a more precision nib, I suppose. And then for the title on this page, because I wanted to be a bit bolder, I used the size 10 nib. So I kept my calendar mostly over to the right side of the page, and I left a gap to the left to put in my tasks or my to-do list. And I'm just keeping that one simple just by drawing a big rectangle. I was thinking about maybe drawing every other line, or maybe drawing boxes or something to add a bit more interest, but it's kind of difficult when you don't know how many things you're going to need to write or in what format, so I decided it was probably better just to leave it blank. And then in the gap along the bottom, I just used some more mushroom PET stickers and other bits and pieces and some washi tape, and then I finished off the whole thing with some more sparkles using the gel pens. On to my habits and trackers page, and I'm doing my usual ones, my plant watering, and then also my habits. These usually take up so much space on my setups, but I've made them a bit smaller by just allotting one dot grid box per item in the list. Quite often I'll do 2, just to kind of spread it out a bit and make it a bit more user-friendly, I suppose, because sometimes with all the numbers and ticking off each thing, it can get a little bit squished. But it's fine, I'll see how it goes doing it a bit smaller. And yeah, my top grid just lists all my plants, and then I check off when I water each one. This time I'm making a slight alteration because I was suddenly thinking it would be really helpful if I could kind of break the dates up into weeks, so then I could see what I was doing per week. So I've just drawn a thin line between the Sunday and Monday of every week so that I can just split it all up and then easily see how many times I'm doing something each week. So that's going to be useful particularly for my habit tracker, because I decided to split up all my habits into sections that show how often I want to do those habits, because there are some things that I want to make sure I'm doing regularly, but I don't necessarily want to do them every single day. And then sometimes when you look over the tracker, you kind of feel a bit bad because there's lots of spaces that you haven't filled out for that habit, but then I actually don't want to necessarily do that every day. So I kind of wanted to make it clearer in my head and section everything out to show how often I want to do that thing. So there are 4 things on my list that I want to make sure I am doing every day. So I've marked them down as 7, so my target is to do them 7 times a week. And then there are 2 items that I want to do 3 or more times a week if I have the opportunity, but I want to do a minimum of 3. And then there are some things that I want to do 2 times a week, and again, a minimum of 2, could be more, but I want to just try and make sure I do it twice. So then with my partitions that I'll put in as well so that I can see my weeks, then I can just easily see whether I've hit that target of how many times I wanted to do that thing that week, if that makes sense. To decorate the bottom of the page, I got loads of my fern stickers and loads of the mushrooms and just lined them around the bottom and just up the edges so it kind of looks like a woodland floor. And then in the top corners, I just added a few extra embellishments around the title. I was kind of short on time this month putting this together because I left it to the last minute to put this together before this video was going out. So I wanted to keep my weekly setups really simple. So I literally just measured out my page and made 4 rectangles, so then that's every day of the week plus a notes section. And then at opposite ends along the pages I left a space to put a mushroom sticker and then just wrote in the date of each section. And that was really quick and easy to put together, which was good. And then on the final page, the last day of the month is actually a Monday, so I did that date, and then there was obviously a lot of space left below, so I made that into my memories section, which again I just did a simple box for and a title, and then down in one corner I added embellishments to finish off the mushroom theme. Normally I would put in a gratitude page as well, but again, because I was short on time and because I didn't really have any additional pages, I mean I could have put it next to that memories page right there, but yeah, I just decided to leave that one out this month, and I will probably get it in again next month. I'm really pleased with how this setup turned out. I think it is so cute and pretty, and I'm so happy to have a black journal again. I think the black paper just makes everything you do look really magical and just kind of mysterious and cool. So yeah, I'm excited to do the remainder of the year with my black paper pages. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like or a comment, and consider subscribing to my channel if you want to see more arts and crafts and bullet journals. Thanks so much for watching, bye!